E, exciting, extravagant. Let's find it out. It's Endpoint and exceL clashing on Inferno.
That was quite nice, Alex.
Cheers. Cool. They won the knife, and they're going to be choosing to start on the defensive side, if I heard the man in my ear correctly.
Voices in my
CT on Inferno.
The same thing.
Yeah. They're doing
Boaster?
the best of it.
Boaster. Why do you have 800 left boat?
Yeah, no, I go AFK in competitive matches too. Okay, here we go. He was hyping him up. He was being a beanpole. That's what he was doing.
Being the beanpole. Now, this is a classic piece here, Alex. Is this the swing through apps and run back down, or,
I hope so.
do we have a little bit of a late lurk there from Windansky? We'll see. As the T's get set up, and they could be zerging out of there, and they might have just enough minerals to make it, Alex.
But look at Windansky, still at T-ramp. Hopefully he can catch up, but we'll find out.
Eyes on Jacob here, really. Like, Windansky's doing a great job just keeping people present over by B for a small amount of time, but the play gets set into pace by Jacob. He puts up the flash, puts up the smoke, and then follows with the 2 flashes. That should allow them out through apps and get to B. This is a classic. This has been done years and years. The flash doesn't quite find Charlie Pickles. He's been unleashed.
And that's going to cost them dearly. It could very well be a third, a fresh magazine, and a fresh peak. Luzza down as well. He's picking them apart like beans on a tree. Windansky is going to be falling as well. This could be the ace. Just hit the bullet, Pickles. We want to put it on YouTube. Hasn't quite got the 5th just yet, and now has to scavenge a Glock to try and put the final 18 points of health into Windansky. 1 bullet will do. And instead, things hit a bit of a standstill. Windansky not moving a muscle. He wants to take the head off Pit because he cannot get that bomb down without a frag there. Eventually, he starts to adventure from his den and is punished for it. And as they say in Dutch, lekker lekker.
Not quite finding their place. The theory was good. Imagine if Charlie Pickles was actually flashing there.
Suddenly they're on the site. Impromptu poetry aside, here we go into our second round, and this is the same kind of idea we saw from them over on Overpass on their second round buy. You can see the pistol, you try and come in at them, all guns blazing and all Tech 9s blazing. This time, one exception was that they had a flashbang, which has enabled them to try and take this banana control a little less contested, forces the CTs back had they been there. But note where that bomb is. 3 players, they've shown nades, they've shown steps towards that B bomb site. The bomb is elsewhere, and now Windansky starting to show face. This is just a question of trying to keep the CTs guessing to the start.
Yeah. Forcing him back on the sites, you get those pistols to bear, I guess, is the main thing. Give him just enough control. Imi, good info found. Didn't see bomb, didn't see much more than that. They're still leaving it very much up in the air. They left it at the top of mid, so again, just kind of taking a tester. Having a little bit of a linger towards, and Imi does find Boaster in the end. But he's being slowly but surely pressured towards now. He's not going to expect this. The timing simply maybe something he's not going to consider, but this opens up many an opportunity. He's not spotted them out, and Jacob's found a window of opportunity here. They can crunch towards B, they can pinch towards A. It's all up to them, but there's still utility on those B players.
Max has got it all to do and only a UMP. These are long fights. They can close in on this one. They've scavenged an M4. Well, sorry, Pickles has the M4, but he's on the wrong bomb site, and now they start to pinch. This is so scary. Max and Cryptics have to do something rather outstanding, and the bullets just aren't connecting. Bodies dropping already, both of them down, and exceL. This is well-structured Counter-Strike at this point in time. They pinch on the site, close fights with close weapons, and the bodies do just keep piling up. Endpoint looking to be out of this one, but it is just one man standing against them, and a 1-1 scoreline. It's Pickles.
He's delivered before. He needs to deliver again. A 1v3 on this site is not easy. And he fails the first step. The second might be just out of reach. A wide peek from Luzza is all it's going to take. And the turn of events happens. That all begins with a good bit of timing and a good pressure play towards CT Arch.
Someone's decision-making there was spot on. You actually, I mean, you weren't necessarily committing. The bomb was up in top mid towards A. Windansky goes on a bit of a scavenger mid hunt, and because of that control towards CT Arch, the CTs, they gave them an inch, and in the end, exceL took the mile. Fantastic work from them, and now we're going to be seeing a bit of a return. Instead of Tech 9s, they substitute them for Deagles, and we're going to be seeing what the CTs can do with their $700 investment. They've got Kevlar as well, so a little bit more, of course, added to that price tag, but still. Early nades, cut through, down to side.
I wonder if that slightly short molly is to allow them to get the damage with the nade. I kind of like that. If that's the theory to it, it's quite nice. They'll approach from itself. But they're going through the motions. The molly's not quite perfect to sandbags, but it's good enough. There's no one there anyway, so main thing done, but they're using the utility, they're forcing these guys back on the sites, and that's what you need to do, is essentially keep those smokes up, play smart, don't allow anyone to get those free picks, essentially. That's where Deagles become deadly. Once they work that out, they should just go for this nice hit as a collective.
And the beauty, of course, of using those Molotovs is it's information for free. By free, of course, I'm not losing your health, not losing your weapon, your Kevlar, not dying, essentially. And you get all that information, you know that you're not going to get caught by a 5-7 in sandbags, you're not going to get caught by someone waiting for you as you go wide on the corner. All of that is removed from the realms of possibility by the use of a couple of Molotovs. And they're, of course, on the T side, even cheaper. Now then, 40 seconds, and it does seem like the T side have a plan. It's in the meantime, you can see someone is up to no good. Jacob is trying to keep those CTs busy on the A site, and it does seem to have been something, but no, they're going to make the call. The nades rain in. Cryptix is begging for help, and the heads did fall into his crosshair, but not in the perfect timing for him. It's going to be Windansky to open and shut. In case of this round bomb to go in, and it will do so safely. They've only got those Desert Eagles, and those are fights they're unwilling to take. It seems like it's going to be more of a scavenger hunt and maintaining that Kevlar. Yeah,
exactly. Take this into the next round going forward. You can still do damage. The point is that, to be fair to exceL, they only lost out on the UMP, still got the plant in, still have the rifles up, with Windansky finding 2, and obviously the M4 on Connor. So, overall, exceL are in a good position. 4 alive with the bomb plant is exactly what you need. Start trying to make that the economy stable for yourselves, bring your money up a little bit. They are slowly working their way back in.
We're going to be 3 rounds in here, and 2 players of exceL have yet to contribute to the round. So far, it's been great work from Windansky. We've seen him in this round especially, managing to do the dirty work, and now we'll be seeing then round number 2 go down. It's always scary to Counter-Strike casters and Counter-Strike players alike. You know you're going up against those Desert Eagles. You know you should be winning that and doing so cleanly, but the power of that pistol cannot be underestimated. It is so scary, especially in the right hands, and this time it wasn't quite enough. But still, it's going to be the 2-1. After conceding the pistol round, exceL bounced back and showing some real flair so far here on Inferno.
A 3-man play towards B, and I don't mind it. I like that to start a round off with. Maybe get a stack going. Normally in buy rounds, you can put your utility down and rotate someone off.
Second time he's caught that nade.
Nice change up there. Ooh, lovely shot from Imi, though. That's going to find Connor. That's the M4 removed. That's a lovely bit of work, but you can see exceL are waiting for this now. They've set up, almost set the trap there at the expense of Connor, but gets the job done. But Mr. Pickles is on the prowl, and again, he finds what he needs, but good trades. exceL don't let it spiral away, which is the first time we've really seen that.
Prowling Pickle finds its mark. 60 seconds for these Ts to not only upgrade their artillery, but also start to decide on a bomb site. And this would be the right decision should they commit towards this. You can see they're looking at the second letter of the alphabet, and there is no blue in sight. In sight, do you get it?
No.
Bomb site.
Oh.
Here they go. Just nades for safety. They don't have the information we do, of course, that beautiful radar and X-rays. Some real cautious is the word I'm looking for, play. And they are on their way together. You can see Mighty Max and Cryptix, one armored, one not, on the stroll. Let's not forget the damage done by that HE at the start. Down to half health before he even got a chance to fight.
Nice work. Good connection from Cryptix. Here on Windansky's low, this becomes a little more scary. Shouldn't fall away from them. This crossfire is strong. It might be costly in the end, though. Those M4s and rifle, as well the AK, could have been lost there, but no. Kept a check, all kept to hand.
I like that they peaked at the same time there. It was either, you could have sat there and held a crossfire and suddenly communication dies, someone gets, naded.
Yep.
You've removed all of that just by simply saying peak in 3 and doing so. Fantastic work from them, managed to secure the round relatively neatly and tidily, and felt for a bit of a hiccup due to Cryptix and his Desert Eagle, but we're back in business, and we are going to be seeing, I'm going to call it a full buy. It's a Counter-Strike Go full buy, just UMP on Mighty Max. Have a little look what Imi's responsibilities are going to be, and that's such a tight angle. Keep your eyes on it. So many nades on that T side. You can't help but feel an execute is on its way. Digging their heels in deep.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. Play this out. Goes to a nice little flash over. Keeps them guessing. You see Imi having to have a little look here, but really exceL haven't committed anywhere fully. They had presence in towards apps, and that's about it. They've now actually started to build it up. Flashes towards pit, but they're not on pit. They're on the balcony, but that's a mistake. Jacob's going to find Jess, caught him off guard, completely unawares as to what's happening, it seems, as it's down to the one only Mr. Pickles himself, and maybe to hold on to this site. But oh, look at this. Nice rotate. If you get a little bit of pressure from Jacob at the right time here, or even just showing.
Max is rotating off B.
Oh no, they're believing this hook, line, and sinker, Alex.
Max realizing his mistake and is going to try and get a panic nade off. If the T's were just a fraction quicker, it could have been just one man on that side, but still, Molotovs are now in place, and the T's have to make a decision. It has to be a quick one. The nades do suggest they should push, but the Flames hold them back, and through the fire and Flames, Dragon Force are going to go ahead and draw blood. Connor's the one to run ahead of Cryptics, Pickles and Immy then. Sound like an indie band, but have to try and find the second for Endpoint. Bomb ticking away. There's plenty of kits, plenty of nades. And Immy is on the prowl with the Zoom banger.
Endpoint are gasping for opportunities now, and this is a good one. Connor low, a little chance at this utility, but the timing again, the peaks coming out at the same time, and that is lovely. It's making it impossible for them to trade effectively. I was just going to run into that one, and now it's a matter of trying to keep money, keep guns up. But overall, we know how this is going. exceL is striding forward here, but we never questioned their T-sides. We knew their T-sides were good, and that's always been the case. It's a matter of how well do they do when they switch sides. How much of a lead do they carve away this time?
Whilst that is the question, I think it is worth mentioning as to where the success on the T side is coming from, because it is cohesion. It's not running into a bomb site mindlessly. There is exceL, they've got the CTs in the palm of the hand, they're playing them like a fiddle. Is it A, is it B, is a discussion that's going on right through the comms of Endpoint at this point in time. There's frags, there's bodies, and indeed now there's a bomb lying in the middle of the map. Jesp, one bullet released, and now exceL have to operate with 4.
And it depends on who you talk to. Most will be very vocal about it, but this map, Alex, it does come down to money. Especially on that CT side, and getting reset on second and having very poor impact throughout the rounds, at least until around now, it keeps your money pretty much screwed. So you can't assert control anywhere. You can't play for banana control. You can't take it back. You may be able to afford a flash and a nade, but that's not the double molly. It's not the AWP. You can't leave him to solo out on B. Maybe if you get that control, you have very few options.
Absolutely. I'm talking of options. I don't know the team's well enough to know if they have the option of a double AWP. But that is something that if you don't have the money, you don't have a chance. And Inferno, such a viable map for the double AWP, especially on the defensive side. Never want to see that on the attack. Here they go, though, when Dansky's making plenty of noise. The elephant never forgets. You won't forget Pickles just dastardly destroying him. 2 bullets of a deagle. There he goes. Upgrades to an AK and finds the third body. And now Endpoint have got a real chance. That's going to be not only another round, but it's going to be a chance to start getting some real money in the bank.
Credit where credit is due. They did that with just pistols.
Yeah.
So
You see that every time.
no, and it feels like that was a very individual round. I don't mind the defaults when you're doing them against, if you have the lesser buy, or if you're looking for opportunities, or if then you're going to kind of transfer into something else. But if you're letting yourself get overwhelmed, even just slightly on banana, then you saw the gun just being ripped away from the hand, it just gets a little scary, it gets a little worrying, and that's pretty much what happened. So a bit of a timeout coming in. Not sure if it's tactical, surely not this early.
That's what my headphone cable looks like at home. It's just a complete bundle of wires and mess.
Really?
You not see it?
No.
Every time I want to try and listen to music, it takes approximately 3 minutes to try and actually
3 minutes.
untangle the...
Oh,
look
there it
look,
is.
that's what it looks like every time I pull it out of my pocket.
Pardon?
She just got one of us.
It is a tactical time. It's very early
The
on
coach
as well.
is going to be vocal here. This is his opportunity just to kind of quickly recap. Probably just saying it was Deagle round, they hit their shining, why that happened, and not to kind of linger too much on one unfortunate round. And for Endpoint, it's them to say, fantastic, but we need to do it with rifles as well. So far, the 2 rounds on the board for the CT side have been with pistols. USP and Deagle alike.
And look how fragile the money is on both sides. They're able to get a good purchase in this, but they're both down to very limited amounts, so it's depleted the funds quite swiftly. And what is this? Endpoint? What is that? No early utility put down banana, but don't worry, I'll jump the smoke.
With an AWP.
Yeah,
That's the play.
that's it.
Okay. Quick rotate. So, I mean, I can kind of half understand the logic there from Immy. He wants to show the AWP banana and then return to A. That's his thought process. Not jumping through a smoke, but I think I can understand that. You want the T's to operate under the assumption that the AWP is being played B. Perhaps you take a peek you wouldn't otherwise. We'll see how that is rewarded because you can see the smoke. Once again, Jacob has been the smoke master so far here on Inferno. He's got everything you need. Look at that. Perfect lineup to stop Imi, push him out of that location, and instead of opting for a random shot, he's going to be throwing that boiler, or rather just ahead of it towards quad, and it has locked the T's out. Look at that perfect Molotov, slows everything down. He doesn't know it, but we do.
We haven't seen much given away in the form of what they've worked with, apart from Jacob basically making noise with the Tech 9. So they might work out eventually what's going on here, but he's trying to just give away that, okay, well, don't worry about, we only have pistols, or only have limited amounts. And they've probably worked out they have more than that, but it's a nice little bit of a mind game. Now, Mighty Max up in the boost, and where's the crossfire? Cryptic's here. That's quite nice, actually. Little unorthodox of a crossfire, you can fall off it. But we did see Boaster when they actually took this hit. He checked on that. So let's see where Boaster is, see if he's actually the one to have a little look, see where they are. Should be second in line, if not first. And he's about to go in now. Connor with him. He needs to check on this one. Boaster, let's see if he does it. He does. Brilliant work from Boaster. The double. He cracks open the side. It's all on him. And look at the time he had left. Operating in the finest of margins.
Outstanding work. One, I could perhaps understand, but two, in quick succession. And that's going to have the CTs cowering as they desperately try and clutch hold of their weaponry. Boaster, no doubt, a cheeky smile creeps onto his face as he realizes with about 3 seconds of fragging, he has brought another round home for the boys from exceL. A quick 180 and 2 bodies down. It was Mighty Max and Cryptics who did have, albeit an unorthodox hold. It was really nice to see. If you're coming in to the B-bomb site, if you're smoking off CT, the things you're checking are, spools, now coffins. Are you checking emo? Are you checking, of course, dark corner, new box, oranges? These are the things you're looking at. You're not looking high into the sky. And even if you're focusing on one, you should be getting killed by the other still. With all of that said, Boaster does it. And that will be the fifth.
Yeah, very impressed. And that's going to prove a little bit. This is it again. And it's just really well done. The first kill was the important one to me. The second would have been traded on if he didn't get it. But the fact is, it just allows you that time, and it doesn't, allow them to stop anything. Just bear in mind, they were down. They were in the red. They had no time to play with on that one. So
started planting at 7 seconds.
Exactly. If anything had gone wrong, you could see the difference. But Imi wants to be a difference maker and gets denied. Lazar delivers the first bullet to the chest. And it's a 5-2 scoreline overall that might be 6-2 if it keeps up at this pace. Removing that utility and all that impact early on that Imi has been having is huge. That can make a massive difference if Windansky starts as well. You know that one-way smoke. You know it's going to be there. Good connection towards Pickles. No, that could be it. There it is. Doesn't even back away from it in the end.
I love that from Windansky. He knows exactly what that smoke means. For those of you unaware, see Pickles can see straight through it. You can see the peak from Windansky. So a spray, a pre-fire, followed up by a nade was a perfect combination. A recipe for disaster for Mr. Pickle.
But if they keep going one by one, Jesper's going to get played back into this somewhat. And that's the bomb there. Connor needs some support. Good molly coming in. Oh, but what a shot to follow. Jacob gets denied, and we're just getting a little bit interesting here. Jesper could do more, but no, the timing on the peak is good. Boaster again. I've got to give credit where it's due. This guy is finding the important kills.
He's got some timing to him. Really nice. He knew that his teammate was going to be jumping out of balcony. The perfect opportunity to peek as well. He can only choose one of those targets. It's a guaranteed trade unless you forget how to aim a weapon, which at this level you certainly hope won't happen. Still, then, we're going to be seeing Cryptics once again. This seems like 2, if not 3 rounds in a row we've been forced to watch Cryptics just walk around the map. Think about life and stuff.
Life and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think about when you think about life and stuff?
I just think it's so crazy that, everyone that I see and meet and walk past and see on the street and the bus has a life as complex and as special as my own.
Yeah, it's always that weird, consciousness thing when you realize that other people have, this
not
internal monologue.
They're
not just, extras in your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not just that person that he just walks his dog every day, just that's all he does. There's nothing more to it. So that's my existential crisis over, and now we have some Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I've been having them more often recently.
Have you?
Yeah, I think it's getting an age.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I guess that's probably...
Oh yeah, that's probably it, isn't
that's
it?
As soon as
old.
you blow out the candles, it's like, right, existential crisis.
Death is very close.
Yeah. I watched a horrible video which told me how many weeks you have left at 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that.
Nah, didn't like that. It's when they did weekend
No, that was,
stuff.
it was weekends. It was like, you've got 2,000 weekends left. I was
That's not many.
Haha, great. Groovy.
Speaking of things coming to an end, Endpoint. Running out of cash here. There's Cryptics. You just dabbed.
Why'd you have to call me out like that?
There is somewhat of a crowd here, Alex.
I can quietly dab on my own. The microphone doesn't pick it up.
I see it.
Let a man.
I have to live with this.
Let a man dab. That's my motto. I'm gonna get it
Is that a new hashtag you're gonna come through?
Oh, I'm
Men's
getting
rights.
tattooed on my
Let a
chest.
man dab.
I'm getting it tattooed backwards so that in the mirror I remind myself every morning.
What does it say backwards?
Blah, blah, shit. That's what it is.
Dab. What does it say backwards?
Bad. See what you've done there. I see it. I do. Don't be so proud of yourself, because currently we are going to be seeing what should be an easy round for exceL. You can see, yes, the Kevlar from Jess. He's treated himself due to a couple of extra frags, giving him the funds. But outside of that, it's just the preserved weaponry from Cryptic.
Look at this lovely deep smoke towards library here. It's allowing Jacob to do a little wrap. That's it. And not. Image got absolutely dumped.
Get banged.
Trapped.
Here they go. Cryptics, you've got the weaponry. You only play on the server or on the CT side to do so, but Connor is going to strike back. Good teamwork as well. Bringing that one home, and now this is where Inferno gets painful, especially when you're dying in pairs. Mighty Max and Pickles heading towards Noah, and when Dansky is the one to take them downtown. Just then, Kevlar and Deagle.
Like a taxi driver.
Yeah, man. It's just got to find alternative words for killed them, and sometimes it gets a little vague. He took them downtown, Lauren.
I liked it.
Thanks.
It was very visual.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he pops them in an Uber and sends them
Downtown.
downtown. Spawn. Oh, just hitting the neck of Windansky, not enough for the one pop. In fact, he's only got 2 points of health left. This surely is the end of him, unless he finds the head. He shouldn't have.
Oh,
what is that? Outrageous. He even tried to go for the deagle on Connor, just trying to kill them after time, try and do something extra. All right, Jess, you may sometimes forget to buy Kevlar, but you can find the head. Fantastic work.
Speaking of extra, there's Boaster. Quite calm for once. Not loud, not screaming away. Last time I was here last weekend, he was shouting the whole time. Really, really in their faces, but this time a little bit more quiet.
Boaster used to be on a TV show.
Have you seen the video? If you guys wonder, do tweet at Boaster or Jacob, who's both have the link. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he'll deliver. And he does some lovely dancing.
He slides around on his knees a lot. Very good.
What TV show are you watching?
No, it's like the knee slide, dude. It's like what you used to do at school discos and stuff to impress the girls.
Is that why your jeans are ripped on your knees?
Yeah.
Ah,
I used to
did wonder why it is.
bring a bag of pick and mix. The girls loved those pick and mix. Offer them like one of those fried eggs and try and dance with
Fried
them.
egg?
Everyone loves a fried egg.
No.
Yeah, do the last ketchup song and give them a fried egg. I was in there.
You're a charmer, Alex.
I'm holding their hand and everything.
Saucy.
Still, we are about to get some saucy CS. That's the hope anyway, as they do start to throw those nades in. It's going to be a rain from either side. Windansky is going to be the first to be caught in the shower. Just a light one at that. Has his umbrella ready. 81 points of health left, as you can see the T side are still non-committal. Though the nades have rained in from both CT and T alike, the bomb is almost on its way towards B. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be turning that corner, and so, with a 3-2 split, the CTs aren't going to be at a disadvantage should they group up for the push. So slow on this one. They're trying to keep those CTs on the edge of their seats. In a dream scenario, the B players start moving, and they have. Look at this. The timing on B is going to be perfect. He pushes through. They're going to shut him down, and now look, Imi should be having a chance here, and he does get shut down, but already takes one down and hamstrings the assault quite considerably, because now bomb down, and it's going to be Luzza who has to hit the shot. Of course he does. Delivers once again. Jess, 2 frags to find. Trying to hunger for a third. The smoke may help.
Even with that smoke, there's still 2 mollies against him. The time that can be bought here is just huge. They're holding each other's pushes. The only avenue that Jesp has is maybe to work through ruins, but with that molly now put to play, he knows that his time is running out. He might as well just back away. He's going to try and keep Jacob to the side, but still, what are you going to do now? You're just going to run in on this one. He does have a kit. He's going to try and smoke it out maybe and go for a full defuse. I don't know if this is going to work. No, he's going to try and make it costly. And he will do, but there is no time on the board. It's another for exceL at Endpoint. Have a little taste of what it could be like to have a victory, but ripped away in the end.
The power of those Molotovs, it's so agonizing to know. You've got to go through the scariest choke point that you know is being watched, or you walk through middle through the fire and flames, and there's 2 of them, of course. Just as it starts to dissipate, a second takes its place. And that was, well, once again, well played by exceL. It's really refreshing to see a team that, started so poorly over on Overpass, managing to kind of recalibrate after nearly taking it into OT on map 1. Now we find themselves here. Week 4 of Gfinity Elite Series, battling for survival. Conceding the first, need the second. And here comes Connor. But Imi is just going to shake his head. Nearly transfers into both of them. Both are 1 bullet short of a double.
I hear chat going off, and I'd love to see what was said about that appalling play. I'm hearing it still. I will not be told. I can imagine what they're saying, but, you know, nice shot. Well done.
Well played, I think they said.
Well played is probably the response. 3 now remain for exceL. And you can see the massacre. I hope they remove those guns away. You literally have the other side to throw them over. So once you get control of top banana, lob the rifles over the fence, please. Please.
They will. They've done it before. Surely. Otherwise, those rotating from A are going to have some Christmas gifts waiting for them as they try and retake. That's unfortunate, but perhaps Laza has something else in mind. Maybe holding banana aggressively themselves, using that as a trap, a lure for the CTs rotating in. Nothing heading from banana, so they have been given the benefit of that. But look at that mighty Max. He pushes straight through the smoke and gets one. Jacob does a backflip, and now Windansky is doing his very best to keep this round alive. Pickles has something to say, and he's going to shout it loud. One more bullet will do, but Laza is going to crouch just in the nick of time to dodge that one, and we do see another round for exceL.
I have to say, Windansky's been outstanding so far in this, keeping this together. This round is a highlight, but there's been moments prior to this where he's actually delivered the integral kills. Between him and Boaster, it's been very impressive. Overall, on the other side, you can tell that this isn't really in the repertoire so much for Endpoint. They've been kind of flustered a good few times. They don't look as fluid as they did on the first map, where they looked very, very diligent. And I think this is the first time we'll see probably exceL having a far greater CT side, just purely because on Inferno you had to work on it. It became, you know, second to none to fight for that control throughout the map. So I think this is something we will see being far more clear-cut than the first map.
Absolutely something to bear in mind. CT side still haven't really done anything particularly new. We haven't seen an aggressive second mid peak with that AWP. We haven't seen a 2-man push through apps early trying to get some information. Instead, Windansky's given this for free. Every round, or at least the majority where we've seen Windansky, he is just sitting here, nading, fragging, and in general just making noise. A couple of times they can test on the staircase. Hasn't gone well for them. We saw Pickles, of course, caught off through his own one-way smoke, but outside of that, Windansky given map control for free. But exceL, once again, in true exceL form, have forced the CTs, with just positioning alone, into a very passive setup. There is no information there for Cryptics. Little for Pickles as well, as he inspects the intricacies of a brick. And the bomb is committed this time. See, they're still anxious. Those players on B, they got caught out in the past, and now they lock themselves in. It's 3 versus 5 here, Lauren.
You should be able to undo this crossfire. It's so strong, and you're seeing it really kick in. Between Cryptics and Pickles, it's so hard, especially with that third player, to take them away. You need the mollies, you need everything right, otherwise they will just do this. Completely dismantle you one by one. Laza has a 1v4 to handle, and that's just 4 too far, isn't it?
The only issue you're going to encounter in that crossfire is if they walk up short and balcony at the same time, and there isn't that presence from Pit. Yeah. There was, though, and you saw just how deadly it can be. There's a reason that's the first time exceL have tried an all-out A execute. Just how scary. When you've got players as competent and as intimidating as Pickles playing that pit area, that's when it just becomes an issue. You either have to have some serious Molotovs available, implement them, but all of a sudden you've got to worry about side, balcony, behind. It's a very scary side to take. And now, the alternative. Charge at B as fast as you can and take that AWP away from Imi, and it's only going to be a 1-for-1. Mighty Max has something to say, though. Just the one. Backs away. So weapons scavenged, though. There was, of course, a couple of Tech 9s, but rifles alongside that, and now an upgraded AWP.
That bomb needs to be picked up, however. Jacob's going to be able to find it. Needs to be a little careful. Falls away and waits to see if they move for information. Each side shouldn't. They can sit 2 to either side and be comfortable enough. Now, that's the smoke down towards the coils. Flash to follow, but they don't necessarily need to commit. They can send one in as a piece of bait, but both smokes even going up. The problem being that Mighty Max can see all of this. So it's not like they've locked off the information play. Him playing from the back of Nubox has kind of given this away. Not normal position, but now Cryptic's playing quite passive
Well, if
towards
they
CT Arch. Timing is everything here. They might have the angle on him, or you just better know. Boaster lands it, and it's all down to him again. Charlie Pickles, what can you do?
But look, they're pushing for him for 1B, and Jacob's going to get them. I don't think he saw the bomb either. And now Jesper's caught in a horrible sandwich. He is going to get the first, but surely not the second. No, caught out by once again Windansky, who has been vigilant in those 1v1s, sometimes even taking 2. Now then, Pickles. A 1 versus 2. Boaster low. By no means impossible. He has the nade as well. Boaster, are you feeling like a nade magnet today?
He is the one who sat in towards Dark or Emo,
Such a
so
dunk.
it is a real dunk if he goes for this. Smoke CT, gives away his position, but will he nade it? He's looking, he's wanting someone to take that fight. No one's obliging yet. He's going to make it pretty close now. Windansky knows where he is, and this should play in Boaster. It does. Nice work from those two then to draw the attention. One way swing out on the other side.
So risky, leaving the bomb alone on an AWPer on the B-bomb site as the rest of you try and make plays on A.
Yep.
Works out. It's rewarded as the CT pushes for him first. As soon as you see, your teammates dying on A, there's one man cowering in pit saying they're coming, library side. You're going to push.
Yep.
And you're probably not expecting an AWP sitting there. So well executed. Putting the bomb on him, perhaps a scary maneuver, but definitely rewarded for exceL. They're going to be happy with that.
No, I think we're seeing a far greater display from...
This wasn't the same on Overpass, was it? Or am I forgetting Overpass? There wasn't this
Not
degree
this
of
level
fake.
of
This
it.
wasn't this much utility. There wasn't. It's solid, really solid Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I think it also just displays to me that this isn't a regular go-to for Endpoint. I think that, I'm not saying it can't be worked into their map pool. I just feel as though this doesn't look like it's there at the moment for them. The way they're playing, they seem getting caught off that often, not having answers. When your money's consistently depleted, it's very hard to find a way back in. Even though, of course, they will play the map. It's not they've never played Inferno. It's playing it as a team, and it's a very different approach. It's not the same as your matchmaking or your gathers or your, ESEA, your face. It doesn't matter. It's nowhere near that. It's a very different world. So again, you can't just apply that. They don't exactly have a Smooya they can unleash, right? They don't have that one big firepower you can just build it around. So I don't know what they can really pull through here.
It's a very good point.
Thank
It's something that I think has been talked about an awful lot. But it's just the fact that if you don't have a map in your map pool and you're still working through the 7 maps in the pool, you're gonna have an Achilles heel that you just have to hope doesn't get brought up. And this is Endpoint. So we spoke to Essia. We heard Ben on the desk, and he was just stating that they were not happy with that. You see their face when Inferno is said. They were, what are they expecting? A cobblestone, perhaps, something along that line.
Mirage, anything else, basically.
Exactly, and instead they slap, Inferno on the table, and they quiver. Wouldn't you say? I mean, it's scary, and we are going to be seeing a little bit of it. It looks like a technical timeout this time. Headphones are off.
Yes.
10-3 though, Lauren, the scoreline. That's exceL. I mean, you've talked about the bad CT sides before, but surely that's going to be more than comfortable going into defense.
Just seeing how they're approaching it as they are, I don't think it's going to be anything like the first map.
Okay.
I think it's very different. As said, even though you do have to put time in on these maps, even on your CT side, just per default, they should be doing more.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that this should be far more dominating. It should be far more one-sided. It would look like their map choice rather than that close first game we had. Even though there were some real discrepancies from the exceL side that seemed to have been cleared up already on this T side. The cohesion's there, the individuals are there. Yeah. A nice T side is what we're having. I think this could be the first real map where we get to see it applied to that CT side to a higher level against a more even skilled team. So I don't know what Endpoint can do though. If they have even just the basics down, you can still get a lot going on Inferno. It's just that they don't have the depth to change things up with.
So if you recap this, just to kind of put everything into perspective, if you have just joined us, let me quickly paint a picture of how Inferno has gone so far. They have 3 rounds out of 14 in play that's been played. 13 going into the 14th. They have won 3 of them. One of them was the pistol round. The other was entirely defense. And the third was the only buy round they've won. In the 13 rounds of play, they have won 1 weapon round. And you can see that spread. Look at that in the center of your screen. You can see just how spread they are. Not a single consecutive round from the CT side. And this veto, it shows the power of a good veto process. You can win the game before you're even in the server, and that's a fantastic flash.
It's so perfect. That's the first real chance we've seen built for them. And the first time exceL has been completely caught off guard.
Spectacular work. They creep and crawl up Banana, and this time there's some resistance, some friction. Not smooth sailing then for the T side here. That timeout, tactical or not, has seemed to put a little bit of extra life, at least in this round. Not a single point of damage has been done in return. They take 3 for free.
If you lose a 2v5, you will tilt off the face of the earth no matter what.
Oh, I'm in the
scoreline
universe
is.
if I lose a 2v5. I'm off Earth.
Floating away on your own.
Yeah.
Screaming bloody murder. Boaster lining up a smoke, doesn't go for it in the end. There's 3 players towards B for now.
That's the deep smoke we were talking about earlier, right? That's the one that lands just in front of Arch.
Yeah, it's the same one that Jacob throws.
Okay.
Laza slowly working up. If he gets a pick, they might go on this, but it might be a problem because Mighty Max is there too. He's made it on the angle, not spotted yet. Boaster's actually checking on this. Not deep enough. Mighty Max and Cryptics there. Brilliant work between those two.
That was solid. I mean, you don't get a better round as a CT side. Early picks, slows down the T side, don't move a muscle, and finish it off. Complete dunk, slam dunk at that, and 500 points of health collaboratively across the CT board. This is how it started, though. You can see Cryptics, Connor and Windansky, their screens were bright white, and he put out the light. Now, one more round in the first half here of our second map, the final of the series. Best of 2s here at Gfinity. exceL desperate to pick up the pace here, and they are not going to be greeted by a flashbang. Instead, it's the Flames, Lauren.
The infamous rush B and do not stop. Cryptics are in a fantastic position. A whiff and a half from Mighty Max. Not looking so mighty now as Jacob and Connor take over the site. As Jeff just trying to play back in, but nothing to be found. Hectic for sure, but the nades, the mollies, everything the T-side has now been put to play aside from one singular molly. It's retake time.
Good Molotov, but caught with his back turn. Boaster. There's even a smoke available just a little late. They are going to boost. Oh, I like this. Get that AWP over the smoke. Nothing to be received towards Nubox though, but it does enable the Molotov, which will force Windansky's hand here. Connor, in the meantime, keeps Pickles preoccupied permanently. Now, Jacob, another with these Tech 9s. These pistols have done it, unless Jesp plans on doing something rather extraordinary. No, back turned, and Windansky's the one to thrive. We do see 11-4. Rush B, no stop. There's a Russian somewhere smiling.
It works, I guess, you know what I mean? You might as well just throw it in. All in all, though, 11-4 can be deceptive. You pick up the pistol, you've got 3 under your belt, you're getting back in the game.
Sure.
So they can't get ahead of themselves, and we know that there is a running theme of poor CT sides from exceL. This shouldn't be where it's displayed, though. This should be where they have a great game. This should be a good CT side for them. They should have everything in place. It's a very... I would be interested to see how well they play out the rotate. So this is something to me that when I feel a CT seems in control, one, they show presence on Banana. That's great. Now, however they want to do that, up to them. Whether it be the double mollies, nades, flash, I don't really care how you do it as long as you do it in some form. And then the second thing is that additional one player who's the rotate from A to B or back and forward. If you get him in the right place more often than not, I start to believe you've got a real shot on this map. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of that. That's what I'm looking for. But Alex, what about you? What are you looking for here?
I just really would love to see the power of the economy displayed here. Look at exceL, though. They're going for fast info down Banana. He knows what's coming. Windansky's been tasked with holding them, slowing them down, but it's not going to happen. He could not stem the bleed. Instead, Endpoint have been given the site for free. Now they're retaking before the bomb even goes down, and Imi's just laughing at them. Swift fragged with the P2K. In fact, getting a 2K himself. Now, Boaster has the kit. He has his Kevlar. Connor as well. You said 2v5s were embarrassing, but losing a pistol when you're trying to forge a comeback could very well be that. Not going to give them anything. This is perfectly executed by Endpoint. You can see they're just keeping them at arm's length. Pickles is the one to close it. Imi opens. Pickles close. That's a start. It's the second round where you have to start worrying. Counter-Strike level offensive, folks. Let's see.
It's very possible. Again, you get the next 2 off the back as you should. It was turned before, and it has been throughout the rest of this game as well. A lot of them go back for these shots. I almost felt that third then. It felt like it was going to be there. But still, this is where things get scary. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but exceL, very, very light.
I like the nades. It's cool. You know, taking 2 Mac 10s and a Tech 9 in place of something bigger for those nades. You don't want to be caught up by those P250s, those 5.7s, those pesky pistols that up close, it's just one bullet to the head and you're dead.
Full B hit gonna come through here. Like it. I love this approach. Use these rounds. Be clean with it. Be smart with it. That was a little bit of an oversight. They didn't check on the boost there. Bit of a shame. Could have maybe put a bit of time towards that. Just run through it when you dry run it.
Spray or two, yeah.
Yep. But all in all, job done. Good investment of Molotovs and everything else, but it's worked.
Now, where are those Mac 10s? I want Jesp and Imi to be bouncing rabbits of doom. The rabbits become the hunters in this, as they just check their corners and try and get some extra money in their pockets. They know they're likely unarmored. They know that they're going to be close. They're not going to be sitting in pit. And this is where you want to send him. You can see, look, that 9 HP is just sprinting towards him. He's like, give me money. Jesp already gets one with that Mac 10. The farming is in full effect, and so are the SMGs. They're filling the kill feed, and Jacob looks like he's not long for this world either, but time ends, and they're unwilling to commit.
They'll stay alive, even with that HP so low. Unbelievable.
And that's wing.
Yep. On the side you can see Endpoint now. Having to build back quite the way, but this is all par for course. One more, and you're at 7-11. You're not that far off. It feels like you're having a horrible half, and then the difference a pistol can make. And of course, exceL aren't rushing it. They're still in the lead. They still should be fine. They don't need to get worried yet.
Dream scenario for Endpoint.
Lovely.
Takes down Connor. Double nades. Collaborative work from them. It's exactly the same buy they're up against those unarmored CTs. exceL, they know they have a lead and don't want to try and push their luck. Again, push it through the smoke, but Boast is just trying anything he could with the limited weapons he had, and now Jacob's just going to try and keep hold of that Kevlar vest. He could get caught out by Jasper just around the corner in the nick of time. No information for him. But yeah, I mean, dream scenario, as I was starting to set out, is you keep the SMGs, you keep getting kills with them, you win the first 3 rounds off the back of the pistol, you then concede a round perhaps, or continue to win the first buy. If you concede it, you win the following, and suddenly you've got oodles of cash, and suddenly you've got a real chance at this game.
Absolutely.
It's the power of the money. You were talking about it in the first half, Lauren. You were saying just how influential it can be, and they had no control of it in the first. Let's see if they can grasp it in the second.
Now, the important factor is they do have the utilities. Let's keep our eyes on Windansky and Connor, see where they're playing currently. They should be, I guess, as the duo. Jacob's going to set up a flash here. Are they going aggressive down middle at some point, or just a hindering flash? That's all it is. So, Molly's at top.
Connor?
Connor's going for this one. I like that. Now, the smoke's down there, but I'm not sure if they've got to check for that close wall. Nice work from Windansky to keep it safe. He'll actually allow Connor to escape more than anything. A quick smoke goes in, but a 1-for-1 trade isn't perfect in the end for the CT side now.
Oh, Windansky's corpse is just catching some final rays.
Spine broken in two.
Oh god, it's brutal. Jasper. Not the one to deal the damage. It was actually Mr. Pickles. Now the bomb is in limbo. Mighty Max is going to change that though, as he does start to maneuver himself and the explosive device towards B. And it's a 2-2 split from the CTs, and so it does really fall down to how much can you do. Connor is going to be the first on the scene, followed up by some trades from Jacob behind the site. You can see the T's of starting to hold those Molotovs and start to throw them out. And here we go. The flames are going to hit the floor. And we'll see which bodies join them. Molotov in towards Pool. That's going to limit the T's options. They have to kind of push into it. And oh, look at Pickles. Starts well, and now Jacob, you're in trouble.
Pickles is doing everything. And these two are done. They need to just save. Get out of there. This is not a map that allows you to play retake. That's why I discussed the fact that it's so important to get that additional man to the right side at the right time. Now, of course, that round they didn't have enough players, so you're kind of screwed from that point onwards. But the point being, just purely because playing from either side, I'd still say this is one of the hardest maps to play retake on, especially with an AWP still up in play. You're pretty much screwed if you don't have that anyway. So if they do take the site, it's pretty much over. So you need to stop it before it starts.
What do the terrorist side have against those fish in that pond? Like, they're just straight up trying to destroy a fountain full of fish.
Yeah, I don't...
This is so inconsiderate.
like it.
Like, those are like happy little fish. You can see they were panicking, they were swimming really
They got
fast.
scared.
Yeah, dude, there's like flames next to them. Wow.
Oh, hopefully they're alright.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They're actually explosive immune fish.
Explosive immune.
You've not
fish.
encountered them. It's actually a genetic mutation that
Oh,
we're
no.
exploiting in the armed forces.
Oh, wow.
Immune to
Are
explosive
you
fish.
able to divulge us in?
Sure, head over to Wikipedia, just pop in explosive immune fish, you'll find it
What's
first
their short name?
Oh, EIF, or IF for sure.
IF. And some aggression.
What?
Poster went for a walk, and he found the vast majority of Team Endpoint. Lovely impact, considering he was one of the players who had the gun. He was the guy who took the risk on the investment. And my word, did he almost make that really count. If he found Jesp, that would be perfect. But still, a great deal of impact.
Huge amount of impact, because now CTs have the numbers. Numbers are really the name of the game. Sure, numbers on your dollar count as well, but also just having players in the server, in the round, means so much for the defensive side. Crossfires, baiting, so much more can be done with the tools at hand. It doesn't matter necessarily what you're equipped with, and that's an AWP from Luzza. He takes Imi out of the game, and you're starting to panic. All that these Ts have seen is an M4 and an AWP. You're thinking this is a full buy. You're trying to work out, crunch the numbers in your head, how necessarily this has worked. Luzza unable to catch him on the cross, but from behind, Connor strikes in the end. He does catch him in the dome. Jesp trying to maintain Imi's weapon of choice, but he is going to be caught in a rather painful sandwich. As painful as sandwiches can be. Maybe a sharp brown loaf. Misses the shot. Now he's going to get hunted down. Grindansky's going to pick that one up. 12-8.
So, Alex.
Whole meal.
You need to
Some
talk to me
seeds
about
on it.
this
Some
sharp brown loaf.
the seeds on it, Lauren. It's
So
one,
the seeds
it's from
attached?
like one of those pretentious like Whole Food stores. The bit crusty.
Bit crusty.
It's a painful sandwich.
I heard all of that.
Did you? Does this button not work?
Hello, yeah.
Well,
Joking. I'm absolutely joking.
You
Alex was holding down the cough button for you guys at home, and I was pretending I could hear all of it.
the things
so,
I've done and said with that button pressed.
how dare you!
Don't scare me like that.
Like-
Squeaky butt time.
Like an attacking loaf of bread. Sharp edges galore. Sometimes though, when you get those rolls, they are overly hard and you bite into it. It does get a little...
You understand me. Stabby bread and bush cobras. Welcome to Pansheen.
It's mostly you though, Alex. You realise
talking
that
about?
this is why they've changed you to the host
They
role.
put me to the host role because I
Like,
talk about.
we're gonna script it, alright? We'll just give you a skeleton
That's
structure.
right, I'm just a robot that
Beep
regurgitates words.
If we were only just sponsored by the Score Esports app, Alex, that would
Let's
be...
not go doing that because you'll get me going again.
I know, it does get you reared up, doesn't it, suddenly?
Here we go.
Ooh,
Endpoint have an idea and a plan, but I'm worried about how much Connor's going to be doing with that.
You've got 4 players in one place right now for exceL. If they actually stay in the right place, they should be able to hold this unless they just whiff.
Oh my god, they're all going to end up in pit. He doesn't hit the shot. That was such a necessity. A second chance, and he misses it again. Luzza, somebody needs to know CPR because he's choking. Cryptix is going to get naded out. Catches Luzza with that one, bounces off the corner, and good night, sweet prince. Now 2 remain for the T side. They got some real map control. They had an opportunity for the execute. But both times we've seen teams attempt to fully execute, it has landed rather flat.
Well, thus far, it's mostly because exceL had the additional players here. There's still threats on board, but nice work from Jacob. I almost felt that 180 was going to land, and you get that little feeling in your stomach, but no. Connor and Jacob lock it down in the end. exceL take another step in the right direction, but overall, let's kind of discuss what happened there. They had, the 3 players in the right place, and they had the 4th rotate already on that kind of speedway in spawn. So he was a quick player over there. So no matter what happened, even with the obscene misses Luzza was just kind of, throwing around the map, you still had that extra man there.
It's something he's been quite proficient at as well. We saw him, very competent in overpass. They're holding the angles, that kind of stationary AWPer. They call them like the turrets. There's another word for it. The opposite of a combat AWPer. Passive AWPer, I guess you could affix that tag to it.
Freeze.
Freeze. Here we go. Holds the angle, and they walk on in. This time it's going to be Connor to finish the rest, of course. Majority unarmored. There's some Kevlar on Cryptix and Pickles, but that's not going to delay this round. CT's finishing this swiftly. Connor picks up 3, and you can see just how easy that one was. It's not easy to make those low buys work, but when they do, good God, is it scary. It looks like it's going to be a timeout now as they're going to catch their breath. Even exceL, despite being close to victory and splitting this series, it's nerve-wracking times for them.
Oh, it feels like it's been on a knife's edge this game, Alex. It has been back and forward. A lot of these teams, you know, the rounds haven't been necessarily clean. There's been individuals providing a lot of work for both teams. So Endpoint, sure, 8-14 doesn't look phenomenal, but they've had rounds, they've had moments, and this could be another interesting one. Laza not landing it, gutting it. A very good chance there too.
Okay, Loud steps up middle. Jacob's going to keep their eyes drawn towards him as Max is going to start, well, Boaster, an instrumental part in their defense. And oh, that's the bomb. At the backs, Max stood, but bomb loose, and that is going to once again put a spanner in the works. Imi through the smoke. Spectacular control. Look at the restraint. He's not going for a risky spray. He is here for rounds, and they need it. 14-8 the scoreboard, as this looks like it could very well be the night as they journey closer to double digits.
Can we check on the money here? Because I'm almost certain they don't really want to go for this exceL. They do have money, so they've got, you know, a good couple of players on a decent spread, yeah. So they could make it costly, because the other side are pretty broke, to be fair. Get any guns away or keep them like locked into this area. So that might be where you see the player working through apps go towards. So I think that's Connor working his way through. That's not a bad shout at all. If he can keep them locked into this, they don't know that exactly, but they'll just work towards it. That's good stuff.
They're going to be saving in pit. You could pull a dose here as well.
Oh, if only, do
Connor.
it, please.
Connor, you're in
Connor,
the
come
perfect
on,
scenario.
Connor.
Wait, no, they're pushing. They know that's a possibility. Cryptix is on the hunt. This should be. Wow, quick reactions from him. Very swift from Cryptix. It's one of those kills that, you know, Connor has got it already in his head. He's already got that kill. He's thinking, where do I go from this kill?
Yeah.
Cryptix laughs at him. Really, really nice quick reactions from him. And the hunt wasn't quite ideal. We didn't get to see that glorious nade. We should probably explain.
Yeah, the Doja nade, right? No, please go ahead, because you can explain the dynamic behind it. You're the host, Alex.
Oh, absolutely.
Break it down.
If you were unfamiliar and didn't catch the previous major, Dosia, one of the players of the winning team Gambit, threw out a nade into that very corner you can see on our screen because our observer is a babe. And that's not often where you'll find T's saving. Once you get that bomb, you know, planted, and you know that it is going to be a one round, but the CTs have gone to scavenge and hide and scurry away into their various hidey holes. You sit there and you don't have to leave. You don't have to take the risk of walking
Alex.
opponent, but I'll talk about it later because it's aggression once again from the CTs. Boaster did it once, and now it's Connor to do it again.
That is absolutely sophisticated dominance coming out from exceL. We saw the pressure before and it didn't go perfectly. We saw that same play, but the coordination wasn't quite there. This time, they've perfected it. Laza even hits a shot as well, something new for us to look at in comparison to the last couple of rounds, where he's been hitting anything other than the opponents, leaving just Imi, who's been great as well. A little bit of a name we didn't say all that often with high sung praise. He's been, you know, a little bit here and there, but he has been landing some blinders and keeping them in this game on quite a regular basis. So this guy can keep his head up, and he's still fighting for this.
You kind of have to in this scenario. You're not getting out alive when you know that.
None of us are, Alex.
Is forwards. Existential crisis.
It's lingering.
We're back. Now, when Dansky's the only one on the site, and with that... Oh, the boost is absolutely zero chance you check this. See you later, alligator. The Irishman strikes. And we have 15. exceL looking to split this series. You can see Endpoint. It was all smiles on map 1, or at least in the first half. Here you can see exceL are starting to really find their pace. Demoralizing as well for Endpoint. And let's not forget their current record. You can see that it hasn't been, you know, all sunshine and rainbows. A split series versus Infused. The only kind of convincing win they've picked up was with Method just last week. This is a big one for both teams. exceL, a battle for survival. You've lost 2 flat out and 1 draw. You need at least, at very minimum, to get that other draw. And even then, your success is not certain. This is just the kind of cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's win Inferno.
Yeah, and you look outside of this. What was that?
Oh, it's just somehow making it into a half rhyme. It wasn't great.
Say it again for us, Alex.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's go win Infernos. I just had to pluralize it. That's the only option I've got.
I'd feel like you're the person who'd work at like those kids camps. You know what I mean? Like the summer holiday camps, and you'd be overly quirky and you'd call yourself bubbly.
Oh, no.
You know?
I'm not quite.
You'd wear a jazzy T-shirt.
I would rock a jazzy t-shirt.
Yeah, you would.
But I don't know if I haven't got the body for cargo shorts. I feel like they're a necessity at summer camps.
Yeah. Well, hot pants.
No, I don't like a
jorts. You're a jorts man.
All right.
15-9, Alex.
Make that booty pop. Laza misses the shot. The double AWPs are coming in for the CTs. This is just a celebration running around a victory lap perhaps for exceL as they bring their double AWPs out. They know these pistols want to get close. What better than an AWP to keep them at arm's length? Mighty Max already catches a nade and Jasp gets just a tickle.
Pickle. I had to do it, Alex. You're always
Biting my tongue.
I was wondering where you're biting them. We're on that topic. Be kind. Smokes, mollies still left. They can make something out of this, and the point being though, overall, is again Endpoint are going into a stack unless they switch up and go B. Now, Jacob can just play this kind of speedway rotate. He's got, you know, someone he must have serious faith in Connor there with the AWP. So if this turns into an arc trap, still decent. You have Jacob there in a quick push out from Lazar. Now he's going to see this. He knows that he can be under more pressure. Spots it, calls it, but he doesn't ask them to support. He's going to let them play into it when Dansky connects the blinder.
And he's going to surely put the cherry on top. Yes, indeed, Mighty Max will only get one more opportunity because exceL have done it. They split the series here in London. Week 4 of the Elite Series, and exceL, they were doubted at times, especially in that first map. It was a 16-14. This was not too far away from a 2-0 to the underdogs of exceL. They needed both. They're probably not going to be too upset about one.